Welcome to the EduHR Training Bite, Empowerment through Critical Skills Development. So today I'm going to focus on quite a new topic for the ECD sector, yet it's not a new topic for the workforce because this is used in corporate on an annual basis and it is known as the performance review or performance appraisal. And often as the ECD sector, we seem to be bullied by the fact that we need to give increases, or we need to accept certain behavior, or we need to accept certain things, and we allow things to slide, especially in people management in our schools, because we don't know how to deal with the appraisal approach. So we're going to look at performance appraisals, and we're going to look at firstly what they are. Then we're going to look at the purpose of the appraisal. Then we'll look at the benefit to you as an employer and the benefit to the employee. And then lastly, we're going to look at obviously how to implement it. So why is it new to our sector? Because we're so organic, and not everybody that comes in our sector has had a chance to be outside of the sector in the corporate environment. And sometimes being in the corporate environment is actually really beneficial because it allows you to understand key performance indicators, how we look at our employees, how we manage behaviors, how we assess success from a business point and success from a employee point. So those are things that we really are going to be looking at today. And I hope that you'll take this journey with me and learn what you can about performance reviews and how to implement them in your ECD. So many of us see a performance appraisal as very negative, and it brings up a lot of anxiety because it makes you feel uncomfortable, especially when somebody is focusing on your negatives or on your weaknesses. Remember, the performance appraisal is not about showing the employee everything they're doing wrong. It's about highlighting their strengths as well as their weaknesses and creating a plan so that they can effectively be successful in the manner of which the organization or the school requires them to be. So let's look at the 5 key components of any performance appraisal. We have goals, we have feedback and evaluation, we have developmental plans, we have communication, and at the end, documentation. So take time, read through what each of those mean for the performance appraisal and see how they would effectively make you understand a positive appraisal above a negative appraisal. So now that we've looked at the 5 core components of a performance review, let's look at the methods that there are available to us. And let me tell you, there are a lot of methods. So I normally use 1 or 2 methods when I am doing performance appraisals within schools, but it also depends on the school owner because it would define through their personality how a process happens. So some schools are short and sweet. They don't want 6-page documents. They don't want to sit for 3 hours discussing objectives and strengths and weaknesses. They want to get it done as quickly by focusing on the things that needed to be done, those that weren't done, how we can achieve them in the future. And then you get employers that like to have 3-hour meetings, and they want to discuss every objective, and they want to discuss every positive around that objective and every negative and how it influenced the organization. So you really do need to look at the personality of the school when you are looking even at performance appraisals. I generally have a standard option that I use. It is by allowing the employee to self-evaluate themselves based on those SMART goals, and then from there have the employer assess them based on those SMART goals, and then coming effectively together and looking at what were the strengths of the employee, what were the weaknesses, and how we could assist further. So remember, your method needs to fit your school. Your method needs to fit you as an employer, and your method needs to be structured at all times. And we've made it to the final step, and that is implementation. Remember, you cannot start a process of performance appraisals if you're not willing to implement the process. And it means that you're going to have to stay on the journey of what you're wanting to achieve by doing performance appraisals. If it is for increase in bonuses, or if it is about increasing professionalism in your school, or if it is about implementing better training, the performance appraisal process always needs to be implemented in the correct manner. So if you are going to implement it with a very negative outlook, you're going to bring fear and anxiety into the performance review. If you're going to focus on the growth of your employees as well as the growth of the school, you can make it a very positive outlook event within any employee calendar. So ensure that you are looking at the right ways of implementing, and that it is about the employer and employee taking a journey and growing together in a positive light, and seeing what strengths can become greater strengths and what weaknesses within an employee can now become extra strengths. So it's about growth at all times. And remember, your employees rely on you to have that open communication with them, and not to use the areas of development as swords over their heads. It's always about growth and always about seeing the best outcome for our employees. So thank you for coming with me on this journey on understanding the performance appraisal process. And I hope that you have learned so much during this time. And remember, we are here to grow individually, and we're here to grow as a sector. And I hope that you and I can take more and more time to developing critical skills required for employers to be successful ECD owners. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.